We had a situation, I just alert everybody, because of the technical issue that we had with Facebook. We're a little longer. Actually, we're in the same time frame, but we're a little longer because of our restart. This week, we talked to Ari Gold, the famous pop star. And it was very exciting in our interview with Ari because I got in bed with Ari Gold.
We heard. And that was his first time. Everyone, no, this is a big applause. That was his first time in bed with a Jew. So everybody, give it up to Al Ferguson, finally getting over his anti-Semitism.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. All right, so we want to show you this interview with our guest, Ari Gold. Watch this. Good evening, America. It's Al at It's Happening Out, and we have an interesting interview for you this evening. Very famous pop singer and songwriter, Ari Gold, and I have to let everybody in on a little secret. He's lying in bed. I just saw him get out of bed just a moment ago, so he's got to tell the truth because I've just outed him. Ari, good evening, and thank you for joining It's Happening Out.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm very famous. I think I'm show business's best kept secret. So don't tell anybody.
Yeah, well, let us all continue to try to propel the idea that you are very famous. You did voice character work in the Cabbage Patch Kids. Is that true?
It is true. I played Sybil Sadie playing Butch. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I loved playing Sybil Sadie, and it was on a couple of the Cabbage Patch Kid records, which I believe the first one went platinum.
Hey, I was reading all of these awards. Billboard Top 10 Recording Artist, Independent Music Award winner, 3 times Out Music Award winner. That's completely awesome. I'm curious in terms of entertainment. Along comes a little show called Entourage, and Ari Gold, the character of Entourage. I want to know, and so does everyone in America, do you absolutely hate Jeremy Piven?
Apparently my brother once saw him at a party and he was like, my brother is the real Ari Gold, and Jeremy Piven said, I'm sorry for him.
So you don't hate him?
Well, that was a pretty asshole-ish thing to say, so maybe I do hate him. I don't know.
I was promoting that I was going to do this interview with you, and so many of my friends immediately mentioned to me, which I didn't know until just recently, the word cancer came up a lot in the conversations. And in most conversations, it's an all-stop moment in conversation. But it doesn't seem to be for you. Tell us how you're doing.
Wow. It's a trip. One thing I have always done as an artist and someone who's out there in public is to tell my truth. And so, I mean, if I'm going to go through a health issue, as serious as that, the best that can be, the best that can happen from talking about that is that I can potentially help someone else.
It makes me wonder, and how are you doing? Tell us how
Thank you so much for asking. I feel good today, and it's one day at a time. My journey with it is not over, and
so you're still battling.
Yeah, I'm still battling. Yeah. Today I'm here. Today I'm not in pain, and today, I'm still working on my projects, and I have all kinds of things that I want to do. I've been performing. I have 2 amazing shows that I am. I just want to get out there as much as I possibly can.
What are the projects you're working on right now?
Well, I've been releasing a remix every month since July, so it's 12 months to Pride, and it's going to culminate at World Pride, which is this year in New York City, which is my native hometown, and I'm releasing Remix to Freedom, which is basically a remix component of my last album, which I'm so proud of. And since you mentioned it, somehow in the midst of all of this health issue and through grappling with mortality and things of that sort, I wrote an album and was able to pour my heart out into an album. But the album is so fun, and it's so because there's so much joy when you're dealing with the struggle. There's joy in there, but there's the pain and the heartache. And the album, Soundtrack to Freedom, is about how dance music is the defining soundtrack to LGBT freedom.
The last thing I want to ask you about is entertainment and what you do in your point about how the gay community celebrates through your kind of music. Some of the changes that we're watching in terms of what we consider entertainment in America, in the gay community for sure, in the circuit.
Well, okay. Well, first off, I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm a big fan of RuPaul. I am also a dear friend of RuPaul's. He is on my speed dial, and we do text each other, and we see each other whenever he has time. He's quite a busy man. He has really made careers for these queens, and drag queens have been at the forefront of the gay liberation and equality movement. With that said, I will also say that it has for
This
me...
is called the other shoe dropping, by the way.
Yes. Well, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Right.
Let's just say, as a cis-presenting, I'll just say that, gay male, it's been very difficult for me to compete and get the gigs with the girls of Drag Race. And so I think that I would like to see us make room. So I would like to see all of us as an LGBTQIA+ community, to all of us make room for all the colors, all the shapes, the sizes, the genders, the gender expressions, the sexual expressions of who we are as a community. We have the capacity to make room for everybody, to deal with more than one issue at a time. We do. We can do this.
It's a perfect exclamation point to your 5th studio album, Soundtrack to Freedom. And I applaud you for the remix March to Stonewall that you're doing all the way to June of 2019. I alert all of our viewers at the end of our interview here, we're going to show you a bit of Ari Gold and the latest and greatest from Ari Gold. Ari, thank you very much. On behalf of everyone at It's Happening Out, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
I'm going to conversation. I feel so inspired just to continue my day now. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell all of my friends I was in bed with Ari Gold. I'm for sure going to tell them. I was. All right.
You're not lying.
No, I'm not lying. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Ari, a pleasure, and we wish you all the luck with your medical situation, and we know you're going to get better.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good night.
I hope to see you live. Okay, good night.
I'll make the choice. Choose what matters, climb the ladder, but be kind. More than reason.
Well, we thank Ari Gold for being our guest. It was exceptionally fun for me.
Thank you, Ari.
Exceptionally fun.
Yes.
Yes, we
and,
heard.
and was it
We
red?
heard.
Was,
You were
the,
in
was the
bed.
underwear really red?
It was so red. It was so red. And we have some
It's
off-camera
Christmas.
stuff that we have on YouTube that you can watch.
I'm pretty sure he's worked with everyone on this panel except for Joe. So, Ari, make sure you get Joe your number because I'm sure he's waiting for it. He's ready to work with you too.
I am.
What do y'all think, Ari Gold?
In bed.
I've always loved his energy, so I appreciate that. And his music, I'm talking, nothing to do with his underwear.
Yeah, he's doing this magnificent project that you see in the interview, where it's a remix every month of many of his famous songs, all the way up to Stonewall next June.
He's actually featured trans people in his music videos a lot, and I love the representation. It's really valuable.
And you hear in his interview how he defines himself as genuine.
We call it gender fluid. We're going to have vocabulary
I
101,
have gotten through an
transgender.
entire show where Aaron hasn't criticized me for some word that has come out of my mouth. I'm doing better, aren't I?
You are. You're doing a lot better.
No, seriously, I'm doing better.
Going back to
I'm gonna
Ari,
bake
we're really
you
excited
cookies
when you're
tonight
down
for
here
it.
in Fort Lauderdale. I can't wait to see you perform live, man. You're gonna
Yeah.
rock it. And I
Ari's-
hope that you reveal those abs.
Ari's
because
going
we're
to
all
be,
excited.
yeah. He's in great shape.
I'll take the tips.
One thing that we want to say
Yes.
for sure is
Absolutely.
Ari has had a dramatic health scare, dealing with cancer,
Yeah.
bone marrow involvement, and he's going through it. I was very touched in the interview. He said something to me, and it really touched me. He said, when we were talking about it, that, did I tell you all I was in bed with Ari Gold? Did I tell you all that? I'm not sure I did.
And Napoleon went to school with Lady
Yeah,
Gaga. We
and he
know.
was- right, exactly. He said that today he was having a good day. And that is a clue word of going,
yes.
yesterday or tomorrow will not be one.
Yeah,
and
or
my
may not,
heart
yeah.
really went out to him when he told me that. I thought that was a beautiful share. He is going through these dramatic health issues that he's going through, and everybody at It's Happening Out wishes you all the success in the world.
prayers
So
are
much
with
love.
you. So much love. We love
Watch
you,
his
man.
videos. He's great. Make sure you come to New York and World Pride and Stonewall's celebration the last weekend in June of 2019. And I know you're going to get to see Ari Gold at it.